Ahí, papá, cuando un avión va por para abajo, no se salva. Si se salvan dos o tres, muchos.
Going to the second song, it just boom, that was it.
That's it.
I remember just telling whoever hold me that, yo, take me to the hospital. That's what I remember saying.
Like the fire went inside the gallon, so I watching it coming and I lift it up, and it just blow right in my face.
I was in the street, bro.
At 3 years old,
At 3 years old, bro. Me, my sister, and my brother.
One of my neighbors them call me. She tell me, Felix, check on your son. I asked her what happened. She told me, hey, I hear your son got shot.
bueno, dímelo, mi gente. Hey, I want to thank you guys like always. And again, I know I'm going to get tired of hearing this, but thank you guys so much for the support. It means a lot to us knowing that y'all paying attention. And not only that, the guests them when they come in, the feedback that they receive after we release the videos, they just call me and be thanking each and every one of you guys. Again, doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you guys so much. Today, we got a guest that has a really cool journey, a lot of ups and downs. Some of y'all might be familiar with it. It's really cool how this podcast has got to where it's at and the guests them that we're bringing in. This one here is going to be interesting. We have today Mr. Damian Lang. What's going on?
Big up, man. Proud of you guys, man. You are doing our thing.
Give thanks.
I really love it, man. I love it. And you're reaching a lot of people. That's the main thing, you know. The goal is to actually get a message out.
Amen.
Because everybody's journey could be a lesson for somebody.
Yep.
You know? And I try to push that in my day-to-day life. Like, the things that I go through in life, the things that I went through in life, you don't actually have to go through it. Yeah. You could listen to what I tell you, and you could take my advice. My advice is quality advice. It didn't work for me. I try it, so therefore, don't try it.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna work for you.
Yeah. Y'all gonna hear some of the stories and the journey. And I did watch, and we will link below, he did another podcast in which he went a lot more into detail about this stuff. But what I wanted to know about the childhood growing up, because we all have outside influences that sometimes influence us good and influence us is bad. And we wanted to know, like, how was your childhood growing up? What was the influences? And we're going to start from there.
Hey, man. Oh, man. Woo. So, growing up, right, a lot of people don't understand it and they don't believe it. But I actually come from a two-parent home.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, my father was a fireman.
Okay.
My father was a fireman for like 31 years. He do extra years.
Wow.
And, you know, it's like my mother worked for sports parks and recreation. And at a young age, my father decided, well, hey, I don't want you working no more. Because my mother was getting babies back to back. Right? Like, for real. My mother got 9 kids. I was the oldest.
God bless. Okay.
Right? And it's like the journey goes like this, right? Is she tried her best and she influenced us the right way. She taught us the right way. And our father wanted us to be like him. He wanted us to work in the government. He actually wanted us to be fireman. So it's 6 boys and 3 girls.
Well, sir.
And me being the eldest, he felt like if I become a fireman, then everybody else gonna follow. And at a young age, my influences, I had bigger brothers, and they was in Shabbat.
Okay, yeah.
And I was growing up in Grove. My influence was my bigger brothers and my cousins. Mm-hmm. My bigger cousins, they were all into drugs. Mm-hmm. You know? They were all selling drugs, not some, all. And my bigger brothers, they was in the streets too. And me having a great mother and having a great father, it didn't really affect me. Like to what I know today. Mm-hmm. It plays a key role in a child's life.
Yes, it does.
But sometimes it's not the parents' fault. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we say that it starts at home. Mm-hmm. My home was beautiful. I mean, my father gave us I mean, every type of show we could think about. He supported us. But I wanted more. I wanted the ballies. My cousins wear different color ballies every day. So that's the life I wanted. I wanted the big rope chain. You know, that's the life I had chose. And growing up, it was like, my father couldn't give me that. Don't get me wrong, my father gave me Pumas. I had British Knight when British Knight come out. I had Converse. I had the first pairs of Nikes. I had it. But my cousins had Bally's. They had Travel Fox. You know? They had Clarks. And to me, when you recognize as somebody, as a man, you have on gun pants and your Bally's them clean. To me, my father didn't see that. So I ventured out on my own.
At the age of?
14.
At the age of 14, you already had this mentality, and the influences around you probably influenced you to have that mentality as well. This is why it's important. I talked about this in a previous episode, that it takes the neighborhood with Rainy, the Baba. It takes the neighborhood, right? Because when I was growing up as well, again, beautiful home. My mom and my dad are pastors, right? So beautiful home and everything else. But that didn't stop me from getting into a lot of retarded stuff. And it took the neighborhood to reach, you know, instead of my parents. But the influences that you have around you. So if you're in a bad spot, probably look around your environment right now and say, man, I probably might need to change right there right now. That little simple movements alone could have a big impact on the outcome of the rest of your journey in life. But I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's real. Because I'm going to jump straight to that because, to be honest, right, we cooling on the couch. Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. Check out the podcast for real. The couch is the thing. It's comfortable for real, and it make you feel at home, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you really feel at home,
Yeah.
so it's like a vibes, you know?
Give thanks.
So, on that topic, right, it was like, with me, my influence, a lot of people say, okay, it's no such thing as a product of your environment. It's where you make it. Because you have the choice at the end. It's just like God said, you got free will. We have free will. Our parents could tell us anything, but we get to make that last choice.
Correct.
Are we going to go this way or are we going to go that way? With me, my influences, like I said, my big cousins and my brothers, that was key instrumental roles in my life. They don't know what they did to me. The difference with me and them was they were older. They done had the BMWs. They done had the convertible Mustangs. You know, they was doing their thing. At the age of 14, I got a Sprint.
Hey, but you got a car at the age of 14?
Yeah, I got a Sprint, right? So,
Sprint ass. I think we'll all love one right now with how gas that.
right? yeah, for real. 3-cylinder. And, you know, they give me a car. But I had a point to prove. See, they were already established. They were what they are. And at the time, I wanted to impress them.
Yeah.
Because I wanted them not just to recognize me and say, that's my little cousin or that's my little brother. I wanted them to recognize me and be like, that's that guy. So in order for me to get their recognition is, I couldn't amaze them with money because they had it in abundance. I couldn't amaze them with nothing else but violence.
Yeah, you got to put in work.
So now I started to prove a point to myself and them that I bad. I make myself believe that I was bad. I make myself believe that I was evil. I make myself believe that I could do anything I want to do. The only good thing I did was I made myself believe I could do whatever I want to. But what I did was I started pushing violence. I started playing with guns because I used to hear man in Grove, which was another, me being a product of my environment, talk about my big cousins and my big brothers, and these man is done. But them man ain't no bad man. Them man don't mash no work. They know how to make millions, but they man the child of them. They was fear was the robber man them. They ain't scared of the police. They was scared of the robber man them. And I wanted to prove a point that at the age of 15, just tell me I don't squeeze the trigger. And I actually played that role. It was a role that I was playing. It was like a movie scene. It's like, you tell me about this and I gonna go and do it. You send me and I going. I ain't asking no questions. You tell me what you want me to do and it done. And that's how I impressed them, because at the age of 15, they could call up on me and he gonna jump in that sprint and he gonna do whatever. And that was how I get their respect. Now I get going to school and I got all the baddest ballys. I got a big rope chain, I got big Mercedes Benz pendant like this. Big stupid rope chain, right? Too big like LL Cool J. And I feel like, you know, I feel like a boss. I really feeling it, you know. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I lied to myself so much that I convinced myself that I was no good. And I feel like one of the hardest things in life, right, is to overcome a lie that you don't train yourself to believe.
That's deep.
You know, and it's a problem. My phone. No? Okay. So you know, like I said, I created that problem for myself because what I did was I told myself a lie. The lie that I told myself was I was bad. And I started to believe it. I tell myself I was a killer. And I believe the lie. I tell myself I was the best robber man. And I believe it. Now, trying to change my life and trying to say, you know, not to fast forward, but in my future, I have to train myself now to forget what I teach myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't tell myself that this is the life I want. I tell myself I wanted to be the baddest gangster. I wanted to be the best shotter. I wanted to be the one that when I pull up, I gonna squeeze for real. And me squeezing while I coming for you. And I make myself believe it. And not only did I believe it, but I live it. I was living a dream. And a lot of our young men right now in society, they live in a lie. They live in a dream. They're playing a video game.
Yeah.
And they really believe in it. They believe it's real. You know? But back to growing up, you know, it's like I learned the hard way. I had a principal in Arthur Richards. You know, if you're familiar with my story, to those who familiar, you know, I stayed back in 7th grade 3 times. The reason wasn't
Just
because...
like Booty. We had Noel being a DJ, he had a rough upbringing as well, and the same thing in the same grade too.
Same grade. That's the age. And see, you know, I stress that right now when I talk to the youth.
It's important. That age is very important.
That is a key role where you start designing your life. You designing your mentality. You designing your character.
Yeah.
You were building this at that age. Between the age of 12 and 15, it's a key time in your life as a young man, especially growing up in this VI.
Yeah.
Because things gonna happen and you're going to see your friends, you're going to see your neighbors, you're going to see your companions, and you're gonna watch their life. You're gonna watch their life and see, well, I could do this too. Or maybe I should do this because they're doing it. You know, not designing your own. And from junior high in Arthur A. Richards, I was, oh boy.
Could you imagine if you get a Bali, the cut, the chain, you was the man.
Man.
I could imagine how the others are looking at you now. But
What?
yeah, you was the man.
And I never used to go class.
My boy go school, but not class.
No, I never went class. Class went for me. I'll go every now and then I show up to sorting class if you got a girl or somebody in there to check. I gonna go check in, you know. I need to use the bathroom. But you remember the wilderness bags?
Sorry?
The wilderness, the bags.
No.
We had these little small little book bag with a little pull strap on it. We are called wilderness, all right? And there was the 8 bag back in the days. But the bag couldn't hold no books. It was just cool. It was a bad man bag. And I'll go in the classroom, check in, tutus, I gotta use the bathroom. Once I take that bathroom break, I ain't coming back. I take a bathroom break every period in Arthur. Every period. So I'll show up sometimes and I might be in the class for maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes sometimes, and then I get back in the hallway. And because I had started to build a little clout and a little respect that I was a somebody in the making, I had monitors that was from Grove, and they had done see the road I was going. And some of them used to shop with me. So they won't tell me nothing. I used to be able to park my car in the back by the kitchen. And I go in my car and cool. I go in my car and sit down, burn a joint, and just relax. And these were our bad choices.
Yeah.
You know? I sit back today, you know, I'd like to fast forward a little bit.
Go ahead.
I sit back today, right, and I realize how real life is. Right? I mean,
How much things we took for granted, especially life.
oh man,
Yeah.
I took life for granted.
Yeah, from what I hear. But and to be fair, I'm not familiar fully with your story in its entirety, but from the little pieces that I heard, my goodness.
I moved to Georgia. I was almost killed in Mutual Homes. I get myself in a situation.
At the young age?
Yeah, I was just turning 17.
Okay.
And at the time, I just had a son on the way.
What?
And then I put myself in a situation where I really thought I was bad. I thought I was bad is for real. But this dude, yeah, was bad for real. This dude, I wasn't ready for what I bring to him. See, I initiated it. I wanted to be known. You just come home from prison. You don't run nothing wrong with your old head. But what I didn't realize is I was willing to go an extra mile. But he was really a cold-blooded killer for real.
You ready to go the extra?
Yeah, he was going the extra mile. He was going to the moon. He ain't gonna stop. And he had proved it because we had a few altercations. Little shootout here in Grove, another shootout here in Grove, another shootout here in Grove. And he keep winning. Because at the time, I had a 380 and a 38. But he had a Uzi. And that's like me carrying a knife to a gunfight. Because he was serious. He was like real serious. And the last time he come for me, he didn't succeed. But he put a fear in me to decide that my mother said, it's time to go. And my mother and my father decided to send me to Fort Myers, Florida. Fort Myers, Florida was where I was introduced at the age of 17 to some Mexicans. And they became my friends. The best friends I ever had in my life. Most loyal creatures that God created. Whether they come from Mexico, El Salvador, I don't care. They certified loyal. If they have a meal, they share it with 4 people, and it's a one-man meal. If I eat, you eat.
Facts.
If I drink, you drink. They enlightened me onto so much in the aspect, let's say, in gangs. At the age of 17, I was introduced to gangs, Maniac Disciples. And it was a branch, you know, of course. We graduated to GDs. And my story it goes from Florida, I make it to Georgia.
So you go from the VA, from 14 to 17, you're a little mischievous self.
Yeah.
Mommy and daddy said, okay, that's enough.
Enough.
Trying to help you
To do better.
to do better, they send you away, and you fall into the same thing
But what's
in the other side. And then now you say you were going to
Georgia.
Georgia.
So then I end up
Georgia.
leaving. I end up leaving. I end up going to Georgia, having so much fun, and meeting up with an even bigger group. Now, being part of the Gangster Disciples, as of everybody know now, is growth and development.
Yeah,
And,
back then, Gangster Disciples.
You know, I ran with that organization for a long, long time. And to be honest, it was a real journey, but I learned so much because it was a different culture. I wasn't home. And then now I have a bigger point to prove. Now it's like, I'm not just trying to impress my cousins and my brothers no more.
Yeah.
I try to impress a nation. So I got to prove that I ain't just this sharp dude from the VA. I got to prove that I is this terrible sharp dude from the VA. I got to prove that, you know, wherever you could do, I could do it worse. And from Georgia, it ended up leading me to Alabama. It lead me to Mississippi. It lead me to Tennessee. It lead me to Louisiana. It lead me to Texas. So the whole southern states, the whole southern strip, the South, I play in it. And at the time, it was for any and any reason. It was like me trying to build a life again, trying to prove to not just my family or my close friends, but to prove to this nation.
Yeah, he's a bad man.
It's a real thing from the VA. And I learned their cultures, especially with the Mexicans. And man, it was a journey. You know, I want to say this. I wish no youths ever have to walk that path.
Amen. That's why we're doing this thing.
You know?
Listen and learn.
Man, it wasn't something, you know, I mean, yeah. I went to prison. Man, I spent 15 years of my life.
Yeah.
About to be 47 years old, and it's like 15 of those, I've been in behind the walls. Wondering about coming home, wondering about if I could ever see my son, you know, and big up to my son, man, Damian Lang Jr., man.
Shout outs.
Hey, man, gosh, because that dude, right now, he's back in college, and,
Nice.
you know, he's not me. He's me, you know. Like, I mean, I just see myself in him so much. The way he deal with his mother, the way he deal with his siblings, I just see myself in him because that's me. But when it comes to being a follower or being easily influenced, that ain't he.
Nice.
He walk his own lanes, he make his own moves, he make his own choices. And he don't let nobody dictate that. Me, on the other hand, if you could do it, I could do it too. Just worse. And, you know, all these times in the States, you know, it lead me to going to prison. Like I said, my first sentence was 12 years. Well, actually, my sentence was 25 years. And I ended up doing 12 years and 4 months because of, you know, something that I did in prison to get my time down. And, you know, it was me realizing that I have a brain. Children.
It was a smart play.
Hey,
I ain't
a
gonna lie.
smart play.
Genius.
It was a smart play. You know,
Genius.
so it really, the influence and all the stuff I went through, it still helped me to develop that. My mind is so powerful because everything that I have done is because I thought I could do it. Or I told myself I could do it.
Facts.
I wasn't realizing that this goes both ways.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you could tell yourself you could shoot somebody, right? So I mean, you could tell yourself you could be the governor.
Yeah.
You just gotta do it.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that that brain will work both ways. You could tell it bad or you could tell it good. How you choose to use this right here is on you.
Yeah.
And like now, you know, with me pushing to these youths is like, what I went through, dog, you don't gotta go through it. You ain't gotta shoot nobody to go to jail and see how it feel like to be in jail. It ain't nice, dog. I'm telling you, it ain't nice. I do it. I don't tell them, I tell the youth them in the school, Google me. Google me. Just like I tell them, you want to believe it? Read the story. It real.
Yeah.
And I suffer. And the hardest part about suffering, man, what a lot of our young men don't realize, man, is what you do to your mother.
The people that love you the
The
most.
people that love you the most. My mother cried for decades. For decades. 2 decades, to be exact.
That's wild.
My mother cried for 2 decades, hoping for a change in me. You know, it was the first thing I do when I changed my life. Well, before I tell you that, let me tell you this, right? My mother was so strict, right, growing up, right? I still don't understand how I turned bad. Kind of woman, listen, this woman, right? This woman used to beat for real. We had a name for she, right? Her nickname was Crazy P. Right? Shout out to your mama, I love you, but God tell these people about you. She used to beat to the point where I thought it was child abuse. Man, I don't threaten and tell she I don't call you my service or so for she, you know.
I did the same.
I tell she said, I said, some, you to be like, you trying to kill me. But she was really trying to curve our ways. You know, we was good at home, but she heard the stories outside. And, you know, I learned that I could use this. See, now I push myself to do better, you know. In 2019, I decided, like, I go make a change. You know. I had just come off the cases with the bank robberies, where they had charged me with the bank robberies at Bank of St. Croix Bank of St. Croix in St. Croix. And, you know, I was found guilty in a jury trial. They say a jury of my peers. I didn't know none of them. They weren't my peers. But I was found guilty, and it took me 3 years after my conviction to fight it out, to actually prove that I was innocent. I wasn't all the way innocent. You know, I was partly guilty of the bank robbery. I was. I got to admit it, I was. But what they said I did not do.
Okay, yeah, understood.
So you made a case and you convinced this jury that I did X, Y, and Z. I did A and B, but I didn't do X, Y, and Z.
Correct.
So you lied.
Yeah.
So because of that, the case was overturned. The case was dismissed. Like Judge Lewis was the judge, Wilma Lewis, and she's a hard judge, but she's very fair and she's by the book. She don't bend and she don't play games. If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You know, in between with she. And, you know, after, big up to Pamela Cologne. I got big up Pamela Cologne. That's my attorney. She and Yvette Ross Edwards, they represented me, and they is 2 amazing women in the VI. I got to say, they diligence, they hard work. Big up to them. My sentence was vacated. It was dismissed with prejudice, and you know, it was a good feeling. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I have always stand up like a man. If you catch me, I'll go jail and do my time. But don't say I did this if I didn't actually do it. You know?
Yeah, understood.
You lying on me, and I don't like liars. You're Jack, like, I don't like liars. And you know, I grew up saying bad man and police warring, but at this time of my life, I wasn't warring with the police. My problem with the police was you lying on me. And I don't like liars. You know, if you got me, you got me. But this time you ran. So leave me be. I end up coming out of that situation, and I was saying down a day, I had 2 little daughters, right? My 2 little daughters was born after me coming home after 12 years and 4 months. I jumped straight out. 2 months later, I got a baby on the way. You know?
We won't play. That's
I have
12
been
years.
out. I have been without a woman for 12 years. So I found it at that moment. I was like, yeah, make me a child. My other children they were done. They were done big. They were hitting adulthood. And I started over. I made a little girl. And then a year later, she had a sister on the way. So I had 2 little girls, a year apart, right?
God bless.
And in 2019, one was 5 and one was 4. And my eye opener was my 5-year-old. She was about to turn 6 actually. And I was having a conversation with her, just about to be released from prison. And I thought her mother put her up to it, right? She was like, how you gonna protect me and mommy if you was in jail?
Wow.
And I felt that her mother had put her up to it. But I was wrong.
No, hey, child.
She was voicing her mind.
Yes, sir.
And that was my changing point, right? Where I said, I gotta do something different. So I came home, right? And, don't get me wrong, I had tried opening a tattoo shop. I try all kind of little stuff.
Yeah, we all try.
But I was still playing in the streets. That was my problem. That was my hindrance. See, a lot of people don't really understand the true meaning of a double stable mind, right? When you believe that good is good and bad is good, you got to pick a side. When you unstable and you making a good choice and a bad choice and you try and play one side of the fence and still play the next side of the fence, you can't win. You only hindering your movements because the energy it takes for you to try to be a little bit crooked over here and sell a little dope still, but you still over here trying to run a business and stay out the limelight. You putting too much energy in 2 different worlds. If you put all the energy into the one world that's positive, it just going to elevate. So I decided I want to try something different. I reached out to Positive. Big shout out to Positive Nelson.
Shout out to, yes, sir.
That's my boy.
Yes, sir.
That's like my boy for real. That's my guy. And he has always been an influence in my life. He always tried to guide me right, tell me right. From when we opened Complex the first year of school, after I went away, I came back home. And now they had done put me in my right grade. And I was still dropping out like a month later. I didn't even stay in school. I think I stayed in school going on 2 months. But I went from being in 7th grade for 3 years to now being in 11th grade when I come back. And I only last, I think, 2 months. I get my girl pregnant, and that was it. I drop out again. But Positive always tried to guide me from them times. I just wasn't guidable. Because I had my mindset.
Yeah.
So when I came home in 2019, I reached out to him and I was like, at the time he was a commissioner over agriculture. And he's like, you still living that life? I said, nah, dog. I try to change. So he's like, you serious? I said, yeah, I tell you, I really want a job. I want to get a job, my first job. I really want a job. I was about to be 40. I was about to be, no, I had just turned 40. And he decided he have a perfect job for me. He said, I need somebody to work in the abattoir. So I was like, what the hell is that? So he's like, slaughterhouse.
Yeah, slaughterhouse.
He's like, yeah, you like to play with blood, right? I was like, shh. So we ain't got to go there, man. He's like, you want it or what? I said, yeah, I do anything, yeah, you try it. And I jump in. I was the quality control manager, the QC, and I had to try and get the abattoir to run right. No, the abattoir was set where these men was defiant. They always breaking down the abattoir, sabotaging different machines so they could shut down. No farmers can bring the animal. They ain't got to walk. They get to cool in the AC. So he tell me, if you could fix that, you did your job. So I went in with a clear mind. Some of the guys had known me, some of the guys, older guys. And I had a meeting with them and the director at the time. And I tell them, I said, this is where you're going to be from now on. When you come up for 7. Don't come when you feel like. And any machine get mashed up in here, I'll make sure something else get mashed up. And I tell them man straight up, I say, listen, I come here to give myself a name. I want to be the best that ever run this place. And if you causing a problem for me, then me and you gonna take it to the streets. And it either you gonna kill me, can use a butcher, or I gonna blow out your fucking brains. That was my exact words. And guess what? Man, everybody coming to me, how the hell you get it? But these men don't be there all day. How you get these men to work like this? I said, man, we just had a good conversation.
A real man-to-man conversation.
And guess what? It worked.
Yeah.
In the 2 years I was in the abattoir, we slaughtered more animals and we received more animals and we worked longer hours than the last 20 years. And this was from the record. This was statistics. This was facts. Our log books and what kind of animals was killed within that year, that first year. They was like, so I mean, these men could have do this all along.
We had no idea.
You know, so everybody was happy with it, and I was proud of my accomplishment. Yeah? So then the director ended up getting fired, and they put me as the acting director, right? So I had a tech home rider, and so, you know, I'm feeling big. I'm feeling big, because man in agriculture watching, like, this man ain't even been here a good 2 years. And like, what really going on? How this man getting these kind of, you know? And it was actually hard work. But this now was me at a point in my life where I realized anything I put my mind to, I could do. And guess what? I end up having to do paperwork that I never had no idea how to do. I had to change up different paperwork. Man, I did so much that I didn't know I could do. But I told myself I was going to do it. I did it. And you know, the paperwork still right now, as of this day, the revised issues of some of the log books and everything is still said by Damian Lang. You know, and I don't feel good about it because that's an accomplishment. Yeah. That's something that I didn't know I could do, and I did it. And, you know, like I had to push toward young men now. You know, I had to tell them, like, man, I had a dream. My vision was I want to start fathers in the community. Right? See, fathers in the community, right, when I decided I wanted to do it, I had a lot of partners that I know wasn't being fathers to their children. But then they'll see me come on the turf, and I got these 2 little girls with me. I know you got children. Why don't never see you with your children? And we had some of my partners telling themselves a lie. And the lie was, I don't really ramp with them like that because, you know, man, they're in the streets and me want to buy chance, dominant and my youth there with me. And I said, I tell myself that saying lie before and I have believed in it too, you know, but that's a lie, dog. See, your children is your shield. See, God love the children for real. They're innocent. They really are. And what I have noticed, and this goes back to, we could go back to Scarface, the movie. I don't kill children. I don't kill wife and children.
Yep.
And there's a lot of street men to this day still respect that.
Yep.
You know, and I start encouraging men, my peers, to be a better father. And, you know, I told them about this thing that I wanted to do. I want to put on a Daddy's Day Out. So the first Daddy's Day Out, right? I went from cockpit to cockpit. From turf to turf. I mean, from dead east to dead west. With an orange bucket. With a cover. With my 2 daughters. I mean, for real, in 2 weeks, we went round and we collected about $7,000. From turf to turf and from cockpit to cockpit. And I tell them, man, this my flyer, yeah. I put in on this event for the youths them. We're gonna do a daddy's day out. Mothers could come, but we asking for fathers to bring their children. And man, it had grow and grow and grow. The first event went so well. First event was in Grove. And it went, I made the front page. And I wasn't expecting that for the newspaper. You check, we was on the front page of the Daily News and the Avis. And I was like, news reporter come out, and they want to interview me. And I was like,
What going on?
yeah. And it was the message, you know. It was,
Correct.
man, I had men that I had never seen play with their children. But I watching them in the grass, rolling with their children. We did races, father and daughter against father and daughter, father and son against father and son. Then we had the children competing against each other, fathers racing against each other, you know. We had the obstacle course. We had, the biggest part was the kickball game, which turned out to be a success. Fathers against children. And we murdered them the first time. We beat them children so bad, they were like 19-1. And then some of the fathers are like, oh God, man, we gotta give them a break, man. They're so what children, let them win. I said, no, you don't let them win, they go earn it. You go let them know you is daddy and you gonna respect me. And I won't beat your little ass. You ain't gonna win today. You see, because by us giving our children a break, when we know we don't have to give them a break, let them learn.
I agree with the loss. Let them learn how to lose as well, because everything, like what you say, in life we to lose a lot more than we to win.
Yeah.
But the winning does feel very good once you start winning.
Yeah.
And I think it helps build character as well. But the fathers thing that you have been doing, shout out to you on that. That's an amazing program. I hope you continue to do this. Every year you just host it.
Yeah.
And if y'all out there, join in, man. Just follow his page, Damian Lang, and you can see all the other stuff that he have done. The most recent one I see you do that I saw was you was done by the water park over here.
Oh, with
By the water park, sorry. The aqua rides.
Yeah, with the jet car or something.
Well, that there. But the one I had really liked was for Christmas time when y'all went around giving gifts.
Yeah, that was dope, man.
That to me was
dope.
cool because y'all didn't forget Harvey.
Yeah, man.
You know? So when I went to Laache, when I went to Harvey, and I see, the little kids them that I know, and I see you giving out the gifts them, and I see one of the little boys, and I'm like, hey, I got a little sister, you could give me one too. And he does have a little sister, and I was like, well, let me see how this can play. And you still give it to the boy. I was like, wow. It's
vibes.
Yeah.
It's vibes.
It's real good vibes, because it's good, y'all ain't forgot us, like how I say, our community as well.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, yeah, man, I gotta bring this man on for sure, because from having all these roadblocks, to put it in an easier term, having all these roadblocks going up, to now being this positive person that's trying to teach the young people and the old one them turn, because you got some other hard-headed rats that are in my age still that ain't grew up yet.
For real.
And if it's anything I could take away, the man take away from this, watch out, trust me, the man got some crazy stories. We ain't went too deep into this, y'all know how to keep this a little PG. But it's some wild stories, like how he said, Google him.
Yeah. And, like I said, I got a book coming out.
Yes.
The book is called Damian Reborn, right?
Nice.
And the reason I choose that name, because in 2020, right? That's my first year of life. 2020. My first year of life. My first year of life, I actually believed that there was a God.
Amen to that.
Who was bigger than me. Yes, sir. And when I bow down and respect the fact that there is a higher power and he's bigger than me, and I don't have a choice but to respect he can and don't need to respect me. Guess what? When I realize that the truest thing of all times, when you believe in your heart and you confess with your mouth, brother, all doors to open.
Facts.
All doors. I don't stand firm on it right now. Hey man, I always been a bad man. I will always be a bad man. I will always be who I was. But guess what? They knew me. They knew me. Man, go check God. Check that man. You want a plug? You want to know who is the biggest plug? Check that man.
Facts.
That man that open doors that man can't open.
Yep.
When man tell you no, he will tell you yeah. And I will tell our youth man them, listen, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to say that you believe in God. Don't be ashamed and say, well, that make you soft. No, that make you tougher.
Yeah.
Because it take a real man to say, that man is my father.
Yep.
It take a real man to stand up on what you believe. Standing up, hey, you got man to talk about, oh, I don't stand on these, yeah. I stand on business. No, stand on God. And watch your business boom.
Yep.
You know, and I had to learn it the hard way. My life today. Man, I never thought, man, shout out to Albert Bryan, big up Govy, don't know. And, you know, Gov is like, I won't say it like this, you know. We go a little ways back. But when Positive wanted to give me a chance, he was like, you sure about that? He's like, yeah, man, we're going to try you out, man. And he want to change your life. He said, you sure about that? Anything happen, right? This one is on you. I said, man, you screaming, you believe in second chances, right? You believe in second chance, I will give a boy a chance, right? And guess what? He'd tell me all the time, he'd call me the turnaround kid. And it's because, you know, I actually have evidence to show that I have changed my life. I changed my mentality, you know, having a change of mindset. Dog, it goes so deep that, you know, people that try to say they want to change their life, right? I learned this. This is my facts, my reality. They say they want to change their life. Okay. But then you get up in the morning and you do the same thing you did yesterday. Dog, you ain't trying to change your life. Now you want to change your life? The easiest tool to use is God and the Bible. Because none that you used to do, they ain't there. So if you're trying to change your life, right, use God. You'll win. You'll win, hands down. To all our youths out there, man, from near, from far, wherever you're there in the world, listen to me, man, telling you, do not be ashamed to say that God is real.
Yeah.
The dude is real.
God is real.
And the dude got your back, he gonna stand on business for you. See, when you give him what he asking you for is to acknowledge him that he is God.
Yep.
When you believe it in your heart, all doors are open. He had the keys. He's the real plug. And I realized it, like I said, that was my changing point. 2020, I become a man. 2020, I became a man. I actually now stand on business.
No, you stand on God.
Hey, check this out. God is my business.
Believe it.
That's my business. And I don't tell man, it's like right now, you know, I jumping ahead and I skipping around, but Fathers in the Community was a start. The Department of Agriculture was a start. Since then, I have evolved again, you know, and now I work out the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, out the Office of the Governor. My title is the Violence Interrupter. So what I do, and a lot of people don't understand this job and this position. What I do is, so we just heard last night, they had a situation at rehab. Let's just say this is an example.
Yeah, example.
Joe and Tony get into a problem. Joe tell Tony ain't done. I'll catch you. We know what the words was. Boom. Somebody make a call, another person make a call. Watch, you know, we trying to stop this from happening, man. Cause this is too good, man. This my dog. He's my dog too. I can't watch them man go to war and I can't get in the middle. Like, I came in, My point of my job now, I talk to Joe. The reason with Joe, Joe said me so much of this man dissing me, man owe me $1,500, dog. Man dissing me, you there out here flossing and doing all of this. But you got money for me and I ain't supposed to check you in public. You feel that way because I check you in public. No, you hiding from me. So then boom, I talk to Tony. Tony explained, boom, 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 yeah, the man diss me, bam, bam, bam. And now I asked Tony, I said, we need to fix the situation because this man can kill you for real. And I know you're going to kill you for real. Only somebody to dead. What about our youth, man? You want to take a chance of dying or going jail for the rest of your life? Your children still going to suffer, whether you dead or you go jail for life. If it could be avoided, $1,500.
Yeah, for $1,500.
Man said, my son, I really ain't got the funds, man. I don't mess up the money. I don't mash up. I lose my money. He don't got to wait till I get. But he ain't trying to wait. So now my partner, what I did was, I go and I raise some funds. Some of our same other partners who don't want to see this war happen because some man really do want peace in St. Croix. Guess what? Get 500 for here, get 800 for here, get 200 for here, and guess what? Went and paid the 1,500. Call and FaceTime. Yeah, what you saying, bro? Watch out this man there right here, man. This man gonna apologize to you for the way he went down in the club. And I need you to accept apologies and I need you to go ahead and do the same thing, bro. Big man to do big things. Little boys to hide and talk. Big man to do big things. See, yeah. They hash it out, talk about it, boom, and it was done.
Nice.
Guess what? I still get my 1,500 for him when he gets straight. As he gets some money, I went, hey, you gotta pay that back. But it was to prevent a situation. That's the violence interrupter. That's part of what I do. When we hear about a shooting, this happened, that happened, I try to go and minimize the retaliation. A lot of the crimes we have going on right now.
Is that right there?
It's really, it's focused. It's this reason and that happened. And a lot of people say, oh, there's so much killing in St. Croix, so much killing in the VI. I mean, yes, we have a lot of young men that has died. Why they die? Because they jump out in these streets thinking they were ready to be a gangster, but they really wasn't. All kind of man that say they want to be a bad man until it's time to say you is a bad man for real now.
Until it's time to do.
You know? And it don't happen. We got so many youth man in our island that want a gun because it's a fashion to get a Glock on your waist.
Yeah.
Or to get a lady that use the little bag, the little fanny pack, a backpack and get tuck in. You know what I mean? But this is a fashion. It's actually being like part of your outfit.
Yeah, a trend.
It's a trend, you know? And the thing I try to explain to our young men, right? Dog, this is like serious business. For real, for real. When you pick up an iron and you put it on your waist for the first time, right? You go from being 5'7"
Yes,
to
sir.
7 feet tall.
Feeling like God.
You feel big.
Yes, sir.
But what I try to push to our young men, because I walk it for real. Every time you got a gun on your waist, even if somebody suck the teeth after you, the first mentality you have is to reach for it. Yeah. See, we don't have guns because we want a gun to look cool. Guns only have one reason. You buy a gun is because you want to kill somebody. You can't tell me you buying a gun because you just want to protect your house, protect your family. How you going to protect your family or your house with a gun? By killing somebody. The best way to avoid it is just don't pick it up at all. Don't touch it. Because when you touch it, it becomes an addiction. Like I tell in my book, I tell people like the story is real. Man, I was 15 years old and I used to walk from my bedroom to go to the bathroom in my mother's house and put my gun on my waist. To go from my bedroom to the bathroom. That's an addiction. And that is something that I say is an experience. I learned it. And I followed that behavior and it became an addiction where I thought I needed a gun. I really thought I needed a gun. Like I couldn't live without it. But this is where you put yourself when you pick up these habits. It's like I just stress to our young dudes now, right? You know how much young dudes we got smoking weed, man? I used to burn can, right? But listen to this, right? I don't not burning can. It's a vibe. But it's a vibe when you could enjoy the vibe.
Yeah.
But when you is a 15-year-old youth man and your brain still developing, and you smoke and get heavy with it, you stunt your ability of growth mentally.
We had the same pan I was talking about that start back a couple times in 7th grade. Check it out, man. That's episode 5. Noel Bean. He unfortunately lost his son to gun violence, right? And we talked about the whole
Felix.
experience. Yes, Felix.
My dog.
Yeah.
Big up, Philly.
So, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
His son.
Yeah, no. So, we was talking about that similar thing in which you was just referring to. So again, I just wanted to plug in the
that episode. Yeah.
Check it out. It's
Yeah,
pretty
check
cool.
it out.
Episode 5.
Yeah.
But go ahead, continue.
Hey, he's a strong dude too, man. I got a lot of respect for this
The
man.
man, I tell you that heck just something, son. Watch it.
I got a lot of respect for him. And he don't think like he just such a simple life and he don't DJ or he don't do this and he just so smooth with it, right? But if you really know what he been through, hey man, check out episode 5, right?
Yeah.
Please, I go check it out, man.
I tell you,
it's real. It's real. That's the key part. It's real.
It's hard for man to move forward with such a blow,
yeah.
and he does it. So I tell you, I'm proud of him. Don't stop.
Yeah,
but
keep going.
He did the same thing. Sorry, now I remember when he was in 7th grade that he started back and all those things. When he went to 9th grade, he hit the smoking.
Yeah,
and he have a brother. His brother a little off and is in the streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said that throughout those 3 years, and again, this is why he just said, when you're 15 and them kind of stuff, when you're trying to do them kind of things, it does alter your mind. It does bear effect,
yes.
right? Because you still ain't fully developed yet either.
Yes.
And he saw the change, and thankfully he caught on to himself just enough to then be able to go back to school and graduate with the same class that he left when he dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So ironically, he was able to do that, gain all those years back, and work hard enough to graduate and come back out the same type of year. But it did have an effect on him at a young age as well, like what you were saying. So go ahead.
It really do. And I don't try and stress it to our young dudes, right? Like, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But I'm going to tell you what you're going to do when you do it. Mm-hmm. This is what's going to happen. It happened because I was one of those guys. I did these things. I remember coming home in the night, high out, and it's like, I used to forget I got a son. Mm-hmm. I was so busy just like getting high and just cooling and outside. I just zone out and next thing you know, it's 11 o'clock, I got in my mother's house, eat 4 cans of Vienna sausage. Like, I didn't realize, but we hurt ourselves doing this.
Yeah.
Especially, man, to our young dudes, man. It's like, I had to preach it so much, right? That I could actually call myself a preacher now. Like, for real. Like, listen, man.
Pastor Lang.
You want to know how you could win in life? How you could get a change in life? It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how much of a product of your environment you was or you is. You want to change your mindset? You want to get rich? You want to buy a house? You want to get a nice car? You want to get a nice job? You want these things? Simple. You need a change of mindset. Mm-hmm. You have to get up. And when you wake up, you have to get on your knees. And you got to tell God, I done. I give up. I give to you, dog. I can't take it no more. Me by myself ain't walking. Mm-hmm. I need your help. Now show me how to do it. And he gonna show you how to do it. Not only he gonna show you how to do it, but he gonna guide you along.
Yes, sir.
And he will never not have your back. I don't talk to man and man will be like, man, hey man, OG, how you do? You don't feel that type of way just going up in people's hood. You don't be in every hood. Like, my enemies dead. I ain't got no enemies. God got my back. Mm-hmm. Man, that's like me walking around with 2 AR-15 and 6 AK. That's how tough he be.
Yes, sir.
He's the real thing. Nobody can come against me. No weapons formed against me will ever prosper.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And I believe this, and I tell our youth, man, right? Like, for real, for real. You want to live better? You want to make your mother happy? You want to take care of your children? You want to be a productive man? Man, check God first, dog. Mm-hmm. When you check he, and you and he reason, and you and he understand each other, then he gonna walk with you, dog. Mm-hmm. A lot of people that take it for granted when they talk about the footprints in the sand, and it was only two set of footprints. It was two sets, and it was one set of footprints, and the whole story is so many different ones. But the fact is the fact. When God say He gonna carry you when you get tired, dog, the man gonna carry you for real.
Yes, sir.
Ain't too many of our partners gonna actually lift you up. Your own brethren that you grew up with, that gonna actually hold you like this, yeah, and carry you like a child because you were unable to walk. But guess what? The man above, the big man gonna carry you all the time.
Yes, sir.
You know? But to our young men, it's like I said, man, it goes so deep, right? That, you know, a lot of our young men, right? We grew up in this life. And we believe these stories because we have seen it. We seen the commission. We seen
the commission.
you know, like we seen these things happen.
Yes,
and
sir.
got some young men that actually think, okay, well, I could do this too.
Yeah, but
But
we see
why
the
would
endings.
you?
When we see the ending, I
You
tell
see
y'all
the outcome. You think you could do it
Yeah,
different?
check.
No, you can't. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know, choosing to be a bad man ain't gonna work.
You know what?
But you know what I realized after 2020, when I start growing and becoming a man. Because I still learn my journey right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And while growing and becoming a man and learning how to be a man, God showed me that I was still playing games. He's like, nah, you still playing that? And I had to realize, like, I was still playing. See, because a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And guess what? Damian Lang was still playing games. Even after I said, I tell God, I done with it, dog. I'll never kill another person. Not even for God. That's what I used to say. I won't do it again. I won't get no drama. I ain't looking no problems. I going direct traffic. And the traffic I directing is our young man them life, you know. I go direct traffic. This is my mission. This is my task. And he showed me that I was still playing games. And I was like, oh, I don't sell dope no more. I had the opportunity to get a couple keys the other day. I don't touch dope. I give up. I don't walk that life. I walk a different path. And he told me I was still playing games. I was like, oh. Because I was playing with women. I was playing with women. And I didn't realize, man, shout out to all our queens out there.
God bless
Value
you,
yourself, ladies. If you show your worth, we gonna pay for it by our life. But he showed me, you know, like I said, my big thing was I wasn't serious in a relationship. I could tell you I love you, but then I could still look at Susie or look at Patsy or look at Jenny. And it ain't fair. See, when I respect you, as a man, part of me growing up, and like I said, still growing and becoming a man.
Yeah.
You know, I recently get engaged.
Congrats.
Shout out to my fiance.
Congrats.
Big up yourself, beautiful.
Hey.
Love she bad. I love she bad.
Congrats.
It was like she was a gift from God. And I didn't acknowledge the fact that this was a gift from God. Like she is just a different kind of woman. Something I have never had before. And it made me in love. Because I never had this before. And being that it was a gift from God,
Yes.
it allowed me to know the true meaning of saying, you're not complete as a man without a queen. There has never been a successful king without a real queen on the side. It hasn't been done. And I realized how much stronger a man can be with the right woman. I ain't saying with any woman, because all women ain't great. Some of them have their faults. And they have to have that same change of mindset in order to be the queen they need to be. Just like men.
Yeah, just like
And I met her. And she was the piece of me. She was my ribs, I'll just say it like that. And I found what was created from me to be mine. And when we start to vibes, it was like I realized what real love is about. She showed me what unconditional love is. She showed me what a real queen does do. And I think back on all these beautiful women that I have played games with in my life. I've hurt women. I've hurt so many women. And when you think back on it with a change of mindset, I have gave that burden to God and I don't walk with it. But I can't forget. I can't forget. I have been forgiven for it, but I can't forget what I've done. And knowing what you do as a man, knowing you have daughters, you have to realize that this world, the energy is real.
Yes, sir.
And the same thing you put out and you did to these 10 females, you don't want that for your 2 daughters. You don't want that dude to be like you, And like I said, man, I gotta shout again, man. Much love to my fiancé, man. Carmencita Camacho.
Ay.
You got my back.
Let's go.
Thank you, God, for the blessing.
Amen.
And she's an example of a real queen.
Nice, man. Well,
And we gonna invite her out to the wedding.
yeah, man, we're going to come through, of course.
We'll invite her out.
Of course.
So we actually trying to get married. I've been talking to John. Big up, John. Check out the podcast, man. The coach is real. You need to come and chill here.
Yes, sir.
So John runs the castle in St. Croix. And, I try and get my wedding in the castle.
Yeah.
Check, this is my first and last time I'm going to do it.
Yes.
So I want to do it in the castle. And I want it to be like, like...
Something memorable.
Yeah, more than memorable, like
Something,
epic.
Yeah.
Like I want to go...
If to be fair, from what the love that you just expressed, it sounds like if y'all get married in the backyard, she gonna still love it. So
Definitely.
Like it don't sound like the castle might be amazing.
She said she get married on the beach. She don't
You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That's what
She's like, as long as we got pasta, we good to go.
Amen.
And I just wanted it. I wanted to be something that I want my daughters to understand.
The value of that, yeah.
I want my daughters to see like this is what real man to do.
Facts.
This is what he to do. I buy my daughter her first real diamond ring. And I put it on her fingers. I went on my knees.
That's cool.
And I tell her, I said, let me tell you something, right? Till death do us part, my boy.
Yes.
I say, you see that? Anybody come after daddy, remember, nothing less. Nothing less. No games, no time for games. Daddy tell you about the games. And shout out to my 2 little daughters. Man, big things for them 2 girls, man. They very smart. They always on a roll. Daddy proud of Ayo, One day, I think I need to come on the couch too, because I need to talk to some of them students and give some ideas about how children they think.
Yeah.
What going on in the kids' mind?
That's funny because I was thinking of doing my son, right? When he's 5 going on 6, so I was thinking like having like a kids conversation just to see like
what going through his mind.
What
you looking at on your tablet recently?
Yeah.
Like what's the
I'll
new
be
thing?
watching all them things. I'll be like, what triggers you to do that? Like what?
Yeah.
But I did think on that, man. Well, we're about to close out this session here. It has been a real cool session. Again, I know we didn't went into specific details about some stuff, but in the previous podcast, you could find all of those stuff, which the link would be below. And follow it, because in there you just get to really hear like, whoa, like a lot of serious stuff and why this man is where he's at today. I think that the position that you have been given by the government right now and the role that you are playing, it is something that is needed. I mean, we've all done that role that you gain right now to avoid a heap of stuff as well. And we shouldn't stop. Y'all know who y'all is. We all know who he is. Anytime y'all seeing some type of thing about to kick off and y'all know y'all could avoid it, make that call Pana, call this girl. Avoid this thing from happening, man. We need a better St. Croix. Man working hard to show y'all, listen, been there, done that. And I ain't like he done been there Went from bank robbery, airport robbery, kind of like
Bank robbery, airport robbery, attempted murder, aggravated assault, manslaughter, more aggravated assault, gun charges. Google me, man. It's
So-
drugs. Oh man, I can't. But that's not who I am, and that does
Exactly.
not define who I am today.
exactly.
It helped to create who I am today.
Yes.
And I'm proud to be here to say that anybody can make a change.
Yes.
Anybody. Do not limit yourself and say you can't do it. You could do it too.
Yes.
I believe in you. God believe in you, and believe it, man. Just try. Just try.
I think anybody could do this, like how he said, and it was pivotal what he said it throughout the podcast was the mentality. When you apply your mentality and you see that something works on the good side, you just be like, wait, what? Like, I didn't know that this could actually happen.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone, and I hear it on the podcast, if you got a roadblock in front of you, get some elbow grease, keep going.
Yep.
Don't stop. Just keep going. A lot of things gonna happen. You've heard his story. Growing up in a very good home, mommy and daddy was both there, providing for 9 children, and the man still had shoes, clothes, and stuff. But the influences around him and seeing others do still better drove him to not only want to be like them, but to be respected, and carried him down a path that, although to him, like how he said, was in his brain good, to the outside, we all know he was going down the bad path. Yeah. Mommy and daddy tried to rectify it, send him away. He still found that love that he has for that path, and he continued down that road. And as you heard, all those charges that he just passed through, 15 years of his life given to the system, and now he's out here, a changed man. One thing I did want to ask him is why he don't wear all white. Cause I noticed he'll do that there, and then we could close out with the all white thing.
So, Alan said this right. So I did the all white every day for a year straight, right? And everybody's be like, "Dude, you don't wear nothing else but white. How you just stay clean?" And I was like, "Man, I purging out." See, if you train yourself to do something, you could do it. And I told myself that I gonna wear white every day, and I walk in purity. And I'm not saying the white is pure or the black is pure. I'm saying it's hard to stay clean and white.
Yeah.
So you practice something and you become good at it. Something as simple as walking in the light. When I say I'm walking in the light, I bright. When I go in the sun in all white, it's like boom. It is what it is. You know, and praises be to the Most High, man. We have a God. He's real. Remember it. The coach, God is with us. Boom. He there in the mix. He there with you. Choose the right choices, man.
Amen. Well, guys, thank you guys so much. Mr. Lang himself, Damian Lang, thank you so much
Big
for
up,
this
big up,
opportunity.
big
Parents, this one here, I want y'all to sit down with the kids, listen to the story. This one is fully for the whole family, so y'all could gain some sense. And from these podcasts that I've been doing, I've been learning a lot myself and opening my eyes to a lot of different things, not only from health reasons, but to different stuff that I recently just started taking like very seriously. Because like how you say, if we could learn from listening, let's do that instead of learning the other way. But that,
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, man.
One more thing. So, I want you to put it out there, right? My number is always available for my office.
okay.
And, you know, I am a fatherhood engagement specialist. And my thing is, if you're having a hard time with your son and you feel that he heading down the wrong path, I don't want you to feel like it's your fault as a parent, you know? I want fathers and mothers to know the same. Sometimes young men just want, it's not the daddy is a bad example, they just go with the other example.
Yeah.
And I'm always there, and I do mentorship, and I talk to young men. I do it for free. You could call me anytime. I pick up your youth man. He gonna ramp with us. He gonna go to my office. We gonna go here. We gonna go there. but we just try to enlighten it and try something different. Sometimes when they hear it from somebody else, they listen then. You know, so it's
That's
always
cool.
available.
And the last thing about the book.
Oh yeah, Damian Reborn. I Am Reborn. The book is coming. It's being published next month. Month after in March. And also, I have been invited to go to the Tyler Perry Studios.
Let's go.
So we bringing Tyler Perry. Yeah, BT Plus. We bringing you here to the VI. It's a possibility of a great documentary coming out of these studios based on my book, my life, and it's what they call a living legend.
Yeah.
Because most of the documentaries they did on big youngsters or
non-dead.
they're dead or in prison for the rest of their life. So being able to have a changing story afterwards,
Yes,
it's
sir.
really it's a lifeline. Man.
Yes,
It's
sir.
blessed.
What an
Thank you
accomplishment.
for being here. Thank you for allowing me.
Yeah.
Respect, man.
Y'all, have a nice night. See you guys in the next episode. God bless.
Baby, te quiero sentir. Tú dime si tú estás pa' mí, pa' mí, pa' mí. Baby, te quiero pa' mí. Baby, te quiero sentir. Tú dime si tú estás pa' mí, esta noche. Esta noche. Esta noche. Chaco, la pauta. YAKO. Sabe boy. From the VI, VI. From the VI to the world. Flow. Yes. Oye, dímelo Jota. The movie maker. La pauta records.